Greetings. Be still and know that I am God. In other words, learn to calm or quiet your mind. And that is the way how you will discover that you have in you the power of God, and you can use that power to achieve your every desire. That is why in Psalms chapter 46 and verses 10, it tells you that whether there is a storm, and doesn't matter what kind of storm it is, you will not be able to appreciate the calm unless you face the storm. And so you must dovetail that scripture with Deuteronomy 32 and 39 that tells you that I am God and there's no other. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Also dovetail that with Isaiah chapter 45 verses 5 to 7 that says that I am God. There's no other. There's none else. I create the darkness and I create the light. I create good and I create evil. Do you realize both good and evil is formed in your mind through thoughts? That is why the Bible is a book of mind science and must be interpreted or understood psychologically, metaphysically, and esoterically, because it's all pointing you to look inwardly. So when you go into silence, that's how you're listening to God. So God is always communicating with man. What do I mean by that? You're having a human experience, but your true essence is spirit. Therefore, to keep in touch with your true essence, which is spirit, you have to learn to calm your chattering mind down. And the best way to do that is through going into the silence. And that is why even the Bible tells you that you must commune with your own heart upon your bed and go into stillness. Go into that place whereby you can hear God, because it's the only how you will be able to know God. Also in Job chapter 33 verses 14 to 16, it tells you also that the only time your instructions will be sealed is when you slumber upon the bed. And it also tells you in the Bible that you must never let the sun go down on your wrath. So, how you go to bed and how you wake is shaping your life. And if you want to display the life of God, you have to practice meditation. You have to practice to calm your mind down. You have to absorb the stillness. So whether there's a tsunami, whether there's an earthquake, whether there's a volcano, whatever storm, if you read in Psalms, in Psalms 46, it is saying that to you, okay? And all of these natural disasters, okay, can be symbol that represent the things that you will battle in your mind, that you refer to as your circumstances or your outer experiences in life, but it all have to do with what is going on within. And that is why you have to battle your mind. And so when you understand the law of polarity, that everything has its polar opposite, you will see that everything is mental and that all is mind, and that the devil is your negative thinking, while God is your positive thinking. But if you want to dwell in more on the positive realm, you have to learn to quiet your mind. And you have to learn to meditate on the law of God morning, noon, and night. And the law of God and their natural, divine, infinite, immutable laws that cannot be broken by anyone. And so there's a lot of mentalism showing you that everything was false a thought, everything was false an idea, everything was false imagine. So that is why you have to learn to quiet your mind. So it's saying in the Bible that you can never know God if you do not learn to be still. Because when you say, be still and know that I am God, you're not referring to some man in the sky. You see, you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. As a matter of fact, the name of God from generation to generation is I am. And the universal question that everyone would ask themselves at some point in time in life is, who am I? And when the answer comes, it must be I am. So when you discover your name and your identity, that is your actual divinity, then you will realize that God and man are one, and that the mouth of God is the mind of man, and the mind of man is the mouth of God. So you can never really know God if you keep speaking audibly to some entity outside of yourself. And that's why there's so many unanswered prayers throughout the world, where religious people beg and plead and petition a God outside of themselves. And when they do not get the results, they say that it is not the will of God. But when you understand that sin is you missing the mark, and sin is basically ignorance that is causing you to miss the mark, and you realize everything in this world starts with a desire, and you have desires in life, and you're not accomplishing those desires because of doubt, fear, guilt, shame, condemnation, judgment towards yourself, do you realize that you are actually desecrating the name of God, which is I am? That is why people say I am broke, I am sick, I am tired, I am this, I am that. Everything that is negative. But yet the very Bible says, let the poor say I am rich, and let the weak say I am strong. What it is telling you? It is telling you that the things that you're seeing on the outside, that is convincing you and making you believe that is how your life's supposed to be. When you know deep within, that's not how you're supposed to be living. It is saying that you must go against those things, but you must speak to your higher self. And how can you do that? We all engage in self-talk. And that self-talk is meditation. It's inner conversation. That is why the more you get in silence, the more you find yourself in solitude, it is the more you can actually hear from God. You see, most people do not realize that God is that still voice, that small voice within, which people refer to as the intuition. Yeah, the inside teacher. So my brother, my sisters, when you realize that your spirit and you're having a human experience, you will also realize that all of us on this planet, we have the one name, which is the name of God, which is I am. And that is why there's only one universal consciousness. So there's also only one power. Do you know of any other creative power in this world outside of the power of imagination? If you know of any, you can tell me. Because as far as I know, everything that we depend upon, that you can see, taste, touch, and smell, and so on, it was for us a thought, it was for us an idea, it was for us imagine. Even everything that you look at in nature, okay, you have to be able to perceive it. So if there's no perception, in other words, if there's no consciousness, if there's no awareness, there can't be anything, okay? So your awareness is your true essence, and that awareness is God. But you can only know that by practicing going into the silence. Stillness. Be still. You see, when you fall asleep night after night and you dream, that is you getting in touch with who? God. The dreamer in man is God. So when people say God never sleep, it is the dreamer that they are speaking about. When they say that God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, it's the dreamer they're talking about. You can travel and do anything, okay, in a dream, and you can do it also in a awakened state through using your imagination. That is why even Einstein said that imagination is greater than knowledge. So they're robbing you of your imagination by pointing you to look on the outside, to believe that God is a man in the sky or some entity outside of yourself, when the power is within you, and you can use that power to achieve your every desire. That's why you need to shut up and listen. And the Bible said exactly what I'm saying right now in Matthew 6:6. And before it said that, in Matthew 6 and 5, it tells you must be like the hypocrites, like the religious people who like to be seen and heard. He said instead, you must go into the closet, go into the secret place, you go into meditation, you go into the silence and commune there with your Father, the creative power that will give you every desire. Do it in silence. Sit wait, you tell no man. Because you're the Mary who's going to bring forth. Yeah, an immaculate conception. So, my brothers and my sisters, you can only know God when you learn to be still. When you learn to go within and find the kingdom of creativity. That's why Matthew 6:33 say that when you find the kingdom, that you will solve the problem. Okay? Whereby you can create. Because when you solve that problem, then you will realize that you can create. You will realize that the creator is within you. And you will operate the power. That's why I say that all these things will be added unto you. It is showing you that everything in this world, whether is it money, whether is it land, whether is it vehicle, whether is it aeroplane, whatever it is, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined, it was first formed in someone's mind. So when it comes to creation, it first starts in the mind. So things, everything in this world is created twice. First in your mind, then outwardly in this physical three-dimensional world, it becomes a reality. So every millionaire, every billionaire that you see in this world, they became a millionaire in their mind first. That is why poverty is of the mind. And riches and prosperity is of the mind. Everything is mental. Everything is psychological. So it would take a religious idiot to use their mind to disagree with me when I say that the Bible is mental. And that's what many people normally do. Use their mind to disagree with me when I say that the Bible is mental. How delusional can someone be to do that? You realize a word is a thought express. And an action is a thought express. And everything a preacher preaching to you have to do with what? Your thoughts and your actions. That's why you have to be the high priest of your life. You have to be the Lord and Master of your destiny. Because why? It is your own thoughts that is created. Your reality and your personality, you can't escape from it. So don't fool yourself. This whole world is a mirror. Everything has been done in secret. It shall be known. By what? The fruit. By your fruit we shall know you. Why is it in most countries where people are so deprived and live in so much mediocrity and scarcity, they have the same religious and superstitious mentality that is pointing them to look outwardly, and they keep interpreting the Bible as literal and a secular history. When the Bible is actually a book of mind science that is pointing you to look inwardly. Because if you take care of what is happening within you, and I'm speaking about in the psychological world, the world of thoughts. If you control your life from day and you live from inside out, it will be different from you trying to live from outside in. If you look at a door naturally, you push the key in the door actually opens from within. That's why when you find your higher self, your God self, you say, I am the door. You will say, I am the shepherd. Who you think you're talking about? A man 2,000 years ago? No. You're speaking about yourself. You're speaking to yourself. People be praying and thinking they're talking to some entity in the sky. No, you're speaking to yourself. Your higher self. Your inner self. And that is why they don't want you to know the power of meditation. They don't want you to know the power of visualization. They don't want you to practice to calm down your monkey mind. The chattering mind. That keep you dwelling on just 10%. Keep you on the left brain. And it keep you full with ego and your own ideology, and you continue in all of the old tradition that passed down from your parents. That is curse. So you live your life as a curse when you're supposed to live your life as a blessing. And Psalms 1, chapter 1, tells you would be like a tree planted by the river that bring forth its fruit in what due season. Because why? You meditate on the law, which love God. The love God are the laws that you're seeing every day in the nature. What is that main law? As you plant, so shall you reap. As you sow, so shall you reap. It's simple as that. So everything that you're experiencing in your life, you're the cause of it. See, most religious people knows nothing about the law of cause and effect, or the law of mentalism, or they would know that the book, the Bible. It was false thought, it was false an idea, it was false imagine. Men wrote that they were inspired. Just like how they came up with money, they came up with science, technology, all of these things, right? It was false thought, they were false inspired. So all inspiration comes from God. Everything is spiritual. Money is spiritual. That is why it is your birthright to have whatever you desire in this world. But you have to learn to be still. To know that you are God in flesh. To know that you are the creator. To know that you are the perceiver. And there's no God outside of self. And also, as I come to a close here, there's no one to change but self. That's why religious people ought to change the world. They ought to change everybody else except themselves. And they can't change their tongue from gossiping. And the very Bible says that the power of life and death lies where? In the tongue. In the tongue. You can't speak unless there was false thought. And you can't act unless there was false thought. So everybody is acting what is happening within. And they think they can hide behind religion. That's why their life is filled with confusion and contradiction. I don't even want to talk about 2020. How they give their shoulder. Because why? The rich rule out over the poor, and the borrower is a slave to the lender. And most religious people, they pray more than the... You realize, right, that the most prosperous people on this planet, the people who are making this planet a better place, they don't besiege and beg a God outside of themselves. And the religious people who always beg and besiege a God outside of themselves, the very things that these people invent and innovate and place in this world, these religious people turn around and call those things the blessings of God. Well, how much more blessed are those who came up with the ideas? And the more you have in this world, the more you can help other people. And even the Bible says if you can't help others, you was after an infidel man. And you see so much people try to give their shoulder to their master. Money become the master. You see, seek wisdom first. So my brother and my sister, when you say be still and know that I am God, for you to say I am God is not blasphemy. You can't say I am for someone else. It's all about you. So my brother and my sister, redeem yourself by accepting your power, your inner power, which is your mind power. You use that to achieve your every desire. And you can do it if you learn to practice meditation, you learn to practice visualization, you learn to practice affirmation, and you learn to become one with your desire. You become the formless and faceless awareness. Because awareness and consciousness is what creates everything. Consciousness is the only thing that is real in this world. I'm speaking from experience. When you become invisible and you become pure consciousness, you know consciousness is what creating everything else that you're beholding on the outside. You realize that there's a science that you can't really see, that is known as alchemy. And you are transmuting energy into matter. That's a miracle. You turning water into wine. That's miracle. You taking something that is formless and making it a hard and objective fact. Taking it from the formless to the formed. From the invisible to the visible. That's why they don't want you to know that you're a magician. And everybody carry a wand. And the Bible is a magic book. But you have to understand it a certain way. That's why they interpret it to you to enslave you. But it's time for you to free your mind by learning to love yourself, believe in yourself, and embrace yourself. You're the pastor of your life. You're the prophet of your life. Can a man decree a thing and have it come to pass? Surely he can. But you have to understand it's a science. It's not a man 2,000 years ago doing it in your life. There are people who would testify in their so-called churches and say, God bless them with a house, God bless them with this, God bless them with that. And there are people who never pray and never call to no God outside of themselves and never call to no man of 2,000 years ago or any idol. And they have far more than that. Far more than that. Why? You see, knowledge, when it's been applied, is power. And people destroy for lack of what? Knowledge. And when there's no vision, the people what? They perish. But here Habakkuk chapter to tell you, you must have a vision. And he say you must write down the vision. And you must make it plain. So you see, my brothers and my sisters, you are God in flesh. But you have to accept the stillness. You have to be still. You have to go into that place of secret. That place of meditation. That place where you become one with your true essence. But you have to learn to calm down the mind. That chattering mind. So, be still and know that I am God. It's personal. So, I can go on and on, but I'm going to come to a close here because I don't want to turn this into a rant. But I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, I will definitely encourage you to get my latest book. I'm going to get it up for you in this month. Okay, it's called The Secret Vagina, The Secret Portal. Okay, the secret, the mystery of the virgin birth. And I'm doing it because in December is when people get caught up with all of the festivities that they give the world to believe that there was a literal man of 2,000 years ago who born on a certain day. But that's not true. Okay? It's you who would experience the birth. Okay? It's you who would discover the skull. Okay? To be Golgotha. Then you are the one who would discover that the resurrection, the crucifixion, and the birth is basically the same and one event, not different events. Don't make them fool you. But anyway, that's another subject for another time, and that's why I'm encouraging you to get the book. When I post it, I'll definitely inform you. But there are many other books that are available, and I'll definitely encourage you to get them. All of the links are down below. Also, the Know Jesus Bible, where there's a blank space for you to write your name, which is I Am. That Bible is the 66 Books of Magic. I'll definitely encourage you to get it also. Also, if you would like to be a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. And I have a course here for people donating $20 or more. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course and self-concept. But whatever you would like, whether it's it one-on-one with me, you want to be mentor, whatever you desire, I'll definitely encourage you to check out all of the links that are down below and let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.